Hi there, I'm Allison Moon. Welcome to day 36 of 90 Days of Self-Publishing. Again, I apologize for getting this to you late because of my retreat. I'm still there. It's over as of tomorrow, so I'll probably be back on a better schedule, but again, I apologize. I've been working really hard on other things. At any rate, today I want to talk about doing your research. Again, I didn't come at self-publishing lightly. I didn't come at it without any information. I made a very informed choice based on the information I could find on the internet, people I was able to talk to in my personal circle of friends, but basically it was a decision that I came to only after I really did my research. And there are 4 resources that I wanted to share with you as the best places that I've been able to find some good answers to my questions. So the first place is Absolute Write Water Cooler. Now, it's very much geared towards writers of all kinds. It's really specifically geared towards professional writers who want to publish, who want to traditionally publish. But there is a forum on Absolute Write Water Cooler that is specifically about self-publishing. And there are a lot of people on there who have self-published and have had a lot of experiences all over the map with it. Everything from kind of just wanting to get a book out there, and so they chose Lulu and just printed like, 1,000 and gave them to their friends for Christmas. Right? So that's one option. All the way up to, people who've really hired graphic designers and found their own offset printers and all that fun stuff. So you can definitely use that community to tap into everything around questions you might have around self-publishing. The other resource that I would recommend is called Book Designer. And this is, excuse me, as I drop my sheet, Book Designer is a great website of a professional designer, a professional self-publisher who basically gives a little bit more detail around, choosing fonts and figuring out how to typeset and all these liminal things that are easily overlooked when you make the decision to self-publish. Again, self-publishing is, because of the resources we have now, it can be everything from a really hands-on thing where you're doing all the work yourself, all the way down to, you basically write the book and then you buy somebody else's services to have them do all the work for you. That's fine too. There's a huge range, and self-publishing is not just one thing. There are various ways of going about it. So the Book Designer I like because he talks about the design elements of creating a book that really matter to me, because I'm typesetting my book and I'm, working with my graphic designer to do the cover. So there's a lot of great articles that explain everything from what a POD is versus offset, what paper stock feels like, how to find an offset printer, what to look for, how to manage your file settings, all sorts of good stuff like that. So I definitely recommend a Book Designer for that. Then there's the CreateSpace forums. You don't actually have to be publishing with CreateSpace to access their forums, which is really useful. You can do searches, you can see what people who are publishing with CreateSpace are complaining about, you can see what they love about it, and you can see how people talk about all sorts of elements of using CreateSpace as a POD. Now, CreateSpace, as you should know, is part of Amazon.com. It's their POD service, and it also has a lot of a la carte menu options, which is why I mentioned that, because you can outsource pretty much everything to Amazon, to CreateSpace, to do it for you, and you'll get your POD book. And you can also choose not to do any of that stuff. You can just upload the file perfectly done already and trust that it works that way too. So definitely check out those forums, because then you can actually see what people are saying to each other. You can see people in conversation, which really helps for me. Then at the most probably specific professional level, there's a Yahoo group for POD publishers, and these tend to be towards nonfiction people, very business-oriented people, very entrepreneurial people who are publishing POD, their own books around business and around stuff. But of course, there's all sorts of other range in there. The forum is really hard to use. It's not threaded. It's not like a bulletin board, unfortunately. It's very much old school listserv. So you really have to have some dedication and some skills in order to be able to navigate that. So that's my only complaint with it. But if you need the real dirt, that's the place I go. I've been researching there starting recently, because there's so much great information about using Lightning Source specifically and the specific issues you'll deal with in Lightning Source. But it's really useful because Lightning Source has a lot of intricacies, and I want to be aware of them as much as I can be. So that's it for today. Do your research, Google, and also be completely aware that there are people who want to take your money. So a lot of places out there that look like resources are actually resources for them to, publish your book for you and do the things that you're going to do yourself, but charge you for it. And if you're into that, that's great. But if you're not, just be aware that people are going to tell you things that you could get for free other places. So that's pretty much it for today. I will be back tomorrow with more 90 Days of Self-Publishing. Thanks. Bye.